Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. In today's video I've partnered with Enya to talk about their Nova Go SP1 travel acoustic guitar. The Nova Go guitars are half-size travel guitars. It's a really interesting design that sort of uses a carbon fibre construction. It's really interesting design to look at and something really different. I've let a lot of people in the studio coming in for lessons play this week and been pleasantly surprised with not only the tone and the quality of the guitar, but actually what they cost as well. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check out if you want to grab one of these. There's a bit of a deal going with Enya, and you can actually support our YouTube channel by using our link that's in the description. I'd check that out. Smaller guitars do naturally sound a little bit weedier and a little bit more trebly because literally the physics of it, there isn't that much that can. There's not really that much air that can move around them. So what a lot of the demos that I've seen of this in the run up to making this video, a lot of people demo the guitar plugging it into an amplifier. Now this is a smart guitar. I'm going to talk about all the effects later on, but a lot of people demo this guitar plugged into an interface or plugged into an amplifier. Now I've got some microphones set up today so that you can actually hear what it sounds like in the room because it's a really cool sound. Let's have a listen. I find the guitar's not only a good strummer, but it's also really nice picked. We've recently been working on the fingerpicking course here at the school, and this guitar's been instrumental in helping me get those ideas under my fingers. This guitar's excellent for fingerpicking. With it being a parlour or a smaller size guitar, you've just got to be mindful of how hard you hit it. Not that the guitar can't take it. The guitar is very, very sturdy and designed with, it was designed with durability in mind, being a travel guitar. I think that you've just got to be a little bit softer with it, just because otherwise it will start to kind of distort a little bit. But that's not exclusive to the Enya guitar. Any kind of half size or 3/4 or even parlour size guitar does suffer with the same issues. Now, some really interesting effects on board. Let's have a look at that next. This guitar is known as a smart guitar, which is a relatively new concept to me, but I was surprised to learn that everything that this guitar can do. Now, there's 4 banks that you can save on this guitar for 4 different effects that are controlled via the Enya app. Now, I'm not an app person. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff, and I like to kind of set something and then forget it, and the app let me do that, which was really good. So what I've done is I've set up 4 little presets on the app to give me 4 different variations of effects that I can use to help me practicing while I'm on the road. So you press the button down to turn it on, and I don't know if you can hear the hiss coming through the microphones. I'm going to start with the blue setting first. Now for the blue setting, I've set it to have plenty of reverb, and I'm kind of going for that sort of California surf kind of. Now when you play with this on your knee for the first time, it's a really interesting, it's almost a bit ghostly. Now you do get used to it, and I've got this maxed out. You can use the inbuilt control to gauge how much reverb you have, but naturally because this demo I want to turn everything to 10. But just listen to the So I've kind of got that California kind of surf vibe. But I can turn it down as well, so I'll turn it to about halfway. You know, it's just kind of rounding everything off for me a little bit. And I find while I'm sort of strumming away with my sort of 3-chord, these kind of songs, it just kind of adds this nice little roundness to everything. So carrying on with the presets that I'd set, I click the button again, and the light's illuminated blue now. Now I've set this up for a little bit of delay. Now it's very, 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 very subtle. Can you hear the repeats on that note? And this was for, I've spent a lot of time practicing things like Apache and like Hank Marvin kind of things. But also there's other things that I might work on that need some delay. You know, if I'm doing anything kind of Andy Summers-esque, anything kind of police orientated, you know. And it kind of adds that extra. What I like is, oftentimes when people look at effects for the first time, they just turn everything to 10 and try and get it as awkward sounding as possible. Well, I feel like Enya have really thought about these and made it kind of, some of them are quite subtle, but they're almost kind of, they're limiting it for you to make you sound better. Does that make sense? It doesn't give you the option to go mega, mega deep, because what you should be doing with this guitar is picking it up and practicing. It's literally called the Enya Go. Get up and go. Let's keep going. Now, I've got this purple setting, which has kind of got a bit of a flanger. Now, I struggled to get this. I don't like flange as an effect, just as a sort of precursor, but I don't... This is not necessarily a negative effect, a negative on Enya's part, but I don't like the way flanger sounds, and whatever I did with it, I just didn't like the way that it sounded because I don't like flanger. So sorry, Enya. It does the, if you want to do the kind of like Nirvana-y underwater stuff, I'd use the next setting, which happens to be the green setting that I've set for chorus to do the sort of. And it's kind of, you know, you could do like REM and that kind of stuff with it as well. So I've just got a little bit of a crib sheet here from the Enya website, and there's just a couple of little bits that I want to get in there because in natural conversation, I don't think I'll get it in. Now, they engineered the guitar with durability and portability and durability in mind. It's got a 0-fret design with round fret ends, and it's heat resistant and safe to leave in the car. Now that's really interesting because a lot of people who live here in England like to go in camper vans or caravans, and one of the common complaints that I get from students who want to take a guitar away with them is, I'm frightened of leaving it in the car and it getting too hot and it damaging the guitar. Now, with it being made of carbon fibre, it makes it extremely durable. And that's a really good point for anybody who has a caravan or a camper van, that they're a little bit harder wearing. Now, it's got a satin finish as this, but I've been playing it and I've not necessarily been, what's the right way? I've not necessarily babied it like I would one of my Gibsons, but I've not abused it either. But there's not a mark on it. It is I feel like this finish is really, really robust. And I purposely went for the white one when we were talking with Enya about doing this, because I wanted to see what those look like after you played them for a little bit. And I'm pleased to report it's really durable. One massive bonus to this guitar that I really like is the gig bag that it comes in. It's a really sturdy gig bag made for travel. Now, what I like about this is, oftentimes with gig bags, I find that the zips are really flimsy. There are often not a lot of padding in the gig bag, and there's no kind of room to put anything. Now, there's this great big pocket at the front, and the guitar comes with lots of extras. I mean, I've been using this guitar for the past 2 weeks. The charging cable, because it's a smart guitar, you need to charge it up. Manuals, strings, cleaning cloths, everything that you need to sort of get going. And it's almost like, I don't know about you guys, but when I have things like this in my guitar collection, everything that belongs with that guitar needs to live in the bag that the guitar lives in, so it's all together, otherwise I'll lose it. And I have every faith that I could travel with this guitar really, really easily. It's got shoulder straps that go on the back. I could travel with it really, really easily. And I could also potentially get it in the overhead cabin of a plane, which is a big issue for people traveling, especially if you're kind of doing stuff, you're sort of doing those short, like 1 and 2 hour flights around Europe. You could take that on as carry-on, and it's not a full-size guitar. It's also really light, weighing 3.7 pounds. The website says now in over here in Europe, it's 1.6 kilos. Now it's made of a carbon fiber polycarbonate, and it's one piece. It's really interesting how it's not mega light, because obviously you've got all the hardware and all the electrics in it as well, but it's really comfortable to play. It's almost like it's a half-size guitar. It's meant to be really easy to play, and I completely get the whole thought process behind this. How the smart system works is there's a teeny tiny little speaker that you can actually connect your Bluetooth up to it, so it works via Bluetooth, and all of the effects are played through this teeny tiny little speaker. Now, if you have a look down here, can you see where you've got the input jack where you can plug it into an amplifier, and I'll talk about that later on. But can you see here, this is a USB-C charging port, and you essentially plug the guitar in like you do with your iPhone to charge it. Now, this guitar's had one charge. I give it a really good charge when we first started using it, and I bet I've played it for about 8 hours total since between charging it and doing the video. And I've had the effects on for, at least I'd say sort of 75% of the time, because I'm showing people at the school as they come in. It will let you know whether the light will start flashing when it needs charging, allegedly, according to the manual, but the battery life on this is really good. So I want to talk about what I like about the guitar next. I like the durability. I like the portability of it all. The gig bag that comes with it is excellent. The fit and finish is excellent. I love the rounded fret ends. A lot of cheaper guitars have sharp fret ends. This is smooth, and just the overall quality of the guitar is excellent. It also comes strung with D'Addario strings, which I wasn't expecting. I haven't changed the strings on this guitar. What you're hearing is exactly the way that it came. I've just played it for 2 weeks before making this video. I like the fact that it's nice enough for me to play, and I find myself picking it up around the studio, around guitars that are worth many multiples what this is. But I'm also not frightened to use it, and I'm going to take it camping in the summer and see how we get on there. But I have every confidence that I'm going to enjoy playing it while out in the wild without having so much money tied up and invested in it that I'm actually frightened of A, going missing, or B, something happening to it. My only complaint with the guitar is the pickup system, in that it's not very high output. And what I mean by that is I plug the guitar in and I've got to turn it up the amplifier up quite loud to get enough volume to justify plugging into the amplifier. This guitar's not meant for stage, playing on lots of stages. It's meant to be a travel guitar and maybe a quick little songwriting tool, which I think within the price bracket that these guitars fall under is really reasonable, and actually, regardless of whether this guitar plugged into an amplifier or not, wouldn't sway me on whether I was going to buy the guitar or not, okay? If you want to go and do lots and lots of gigs and you're playing to big crowds, maybe have a look at something else. But if you are literally just want a quick little travel guitar that's not too expensive, but still has great quality, and you can get some really surprising sounds out of it, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend the Enya Nova Go SP1 to anybody. I'd like to thank Enya for collaborating with me on this video, and if you want to bag one of these for yourself, head to my link in the description and you can check out all the Enya range. And if you decide that you're going to go with any of the guitars, it helps support us over at Kirklees Guitar School if you purchase it through that link. I'll see you next week for another acoustic guitar lesson. Thank you so much.